Hello, just a very quick video this one, sort of an unboxing. These were bought for a video that's planned a little bit further down the line, but I thought they're all together now, so might as well have a look. I did already open it because I wasn't 100% sure that these were what they were meant to be, but they are. So these are video cards, graphics cards that are all AGP. And that's what the video is going to be about. It's kind of looking at what AGP cards I own and a little bit of a history of AGP and what it is. So it's pretty nicely packed, to be fair. So we're going to go through these one by one and just see what they are. I've got a rough idea on some of them, but others I'm not 100% sure of. So let's try this one. So quite a, well, obviously very well wrapped. I'm not sure how this kind of wrapping is going to affect them actually. Because usually you don't want any kind of static with stuff like this, but I'm sure they're going to be fine. They're probably 20-year plus old, so going to be absolutely fine on these. If I had to guess on this one, I would say a GeForce 2 or MX 440, something like that. I don't know. Mystery card, is it going to say there? No, okay, so I'm going to have a look up on that one. What you'd get sometimes if they're OEM cards from Dell or HP and that kind of thing, they wouldn't actually tell you what they were. It would be kind of on this serial number here, or on the code there. So I'm not sure. It's not a spectacular one, and kind of the RAM kind of place where the RAM would go isn't filled, so it's going to be quite a low end card. I imagine something like maybe 32 meg on this one. It would be. Actually, that is PCI. It's PCI Express on that one. So it's not VGA. I wonder what that is. Okay. Well, we'll try again on that one. I wasn't expecting PCIe on this one. Okay. So this card next. Looks a little bit more interesting. It's always nice for these cards to find a heatsink with a fan. Oh, blimey, look at this. Again, not 100% sure on this one. It's very old, very dusty. Oh, blimey. More populated on the old RAM there. I don't know. That's an aftermarket one because the original fan would have gone there. So this is an aftermarket little fan on that one. Very basic on the back. S-Video and VGA. So I don't know. I'll find out that one. TW15. Just trying to see if there's any clues on here, but there are not. Strange. Okay, definitely AGP on that one. You can just see the difference in the slot there. So, if ever you're on eBay and you're looking for cards, that is PCI Express, and then that is AGP. AGP is far more basic looking on that one. So, okay, that's that one. Next one is this one, PCI again. See, this looks more like that first card, which is why I thought they were all going to be AGP. That's what they were on the listing, but that's okay. Very basic again, S-Video with VGA. Basic heatsink. Elsa Gladiac. Any more information on that one? If you know any of these cards, actually, please feel free to put them in the comments, because I'm struggling at the moment. Elsa Gladiac. I'll have to have a little look on that one. Okay. How weird. Elsa's the actual make of it. Okay, Nvidia. So, what, GeForce 2? Maybe? I don't know on that one. Okay. We'll have to find out on that one. That's a mystery again. Fine. Don't mind mysteries. This one. Just VGA on this one, so you know it's going to be very, very basic. Look at this. There we go. Okay. Nvidia TNT2 M64 32 meg. So year 2000, year 99, 2000. Games like, I suppose, The Sims and stuff like that would have run on something like this. Very, very basic card on this. Even when it was released, it would have been particularly basic. It's so weird. You've got the BIOS on there. Just kind of sold on. Really kind of basic looking, rudimentary kind of graphics card, really. But at least we know what it is. I remember buying one of these actually when I was probably 20 odd years ago, looking to kind of build a PC, I suppose, and this was one I bought, realised I made a mistake, and then sold on for the same money I paid for it, so that was lucky. They don't very often have that happen. Absolutely zero cooling on this one. Okay, so if we thought the last one was basic, this is even worse. This is the kind of thing you'd see in a 20-odd-year-old PC, just as your very basic card. So it's the Trio 64. I know a little bit, or I've had the S3 Verge, I think it was, or Verge 3D kind of thing. So yeah, this is as basic as it gets, really. And we can see there, that is AGP, but it's going to be something like AGP times 1. It's going to be like almost, I think, the original AGP on that one. But yeah, S3 Trio 64. I mean, blimey, I don't know what you'd be able to run on that, to be honest. Not much. Almost to the point where it's a basic display adapter, to be fair. But hey, I don't mind stuff like this, actually. It's anything kind of weird, basic, you know, I don't mind at all. So, next one. I think it's going to be an Nvidia card. By the looks of it, no. No, it's an ATI one. I don't have many old ATI cards, actually. Rage, ATI Rage 3D. That's actually my first Rage card. There's a bit of history with these, and that is the last one PCI. I guess that is, yeah. Must be, yeah, PCI. So, very old. So before AGP was the thing, Accelerated Graphics Port, I think it stands for. PCI was the way you connect the graphics card. So yeah, it's got to be a PCI on that one. That's interesting. Haven't had one of these before, so I'm happy to have a ATI Rage card. I don't know what version that is really, but I'll do a little bit of reading up about it. That's pretty cool. Okay. Getting into something a little bit more modern, I suppose, and very unusually, I'll show you on this one. This is PCI again, but it's a much newer card than the last two that we've seen. So for those PCs that didn't have AGP from around about that era, 2003, 2004, that kind of time, and there still were PCs without AGP ports, you have this. Now, sort of, this was a standout card, and one of the reasons I kind of put a bid on this on eBay is that PCI slot. So, some retro PCs, you haven't got a choice, you have to go PCI, and at least you've got something that's decent. This is the FX 5200, is probably the card I've come across most in all my kind of time when you're buying a PC from a charity shop or eBay or picking up from a house, whatever it might be. Almost always you've got an FX 5200. It was the kind of modern, well, a modern equivalent would be a GT 710. Cheap, stick it in there, it works. It would have been able to play games, not many, not well, but it would have been able to do it. So I've got a little bit of a soft spot for it. However, every time I test it, I'm surprised at how bad it is. The FX range in kind of general was poor, but the 5200 especially was very poor. But it's the PCI version, so there is value there, definitely, and it is very useful for some builds. I've even got an Apple Mac Pro, which is the very nice aluminium large one, the first generation one, and that's got a 5200 in it. Back to the basic cards, by the looks of it, is an ATI one, it is AGP. I need to keep checking now because I'm kind of doubting myself. I made a couple of mistakes on what ports they are on that. It looks maybe like a, oh, it's from year 2000. I was going to say a 9200 SE, something like that, but it won't be because, no, it's another one. It's a Rage 128 Pro. I mean, this is what I love really. I'm kind of having to do a bit of research on these cards after I finish the video. I've definitely heard of Rage, and it's something that comes up a lot in retro computer building, but I'll have to have a look at that one. So, yep, ATI Rage 120 Pro. You can see there it was released in the year 2000 by ATI. There we go. Only basic connections on again, but from cards from the year 2000, they always would have been. I think these are untested, so they may or may not work, but we'll see. And this was another standout card. You can kind of tell it's very different to the others, being that it's a lot heavier, a lot bigger. It's got an aftermarket cooler on it as well. It does have DVI this time, VGA and S-Video, so a little bit more advanced. Big copper cooler on that one. Okay. What is this? So, FX, is that 5600 XT? You'll probably be able to see better than me on that one. I haven't got my glasses, but yeah, 5600 XT. So, interesting thing. Very nice to cable manage that as well, I suppose. Very interesting thing on the XT range on Nvidia cards. Whenever you saw XT on Radeon, ATI Radeon cards, it would mean high end. And I think, this is my theory, I don't know if it's been proved or anything like that, that Nvidia released the XT line to kind of confuse customers into thinking that XT was bad, because XT on an Nvidia card is their lower end, or it might have half the RAM cut off, or there'll be some kind of downgrade or a slower graphics card than even FX 5600. So an XT for Nvidia is bad, XT for ATI Radeon is good. And I think that's why Nvidia did it, to kind of say, you know, oh, XT means, you know, poor. Let's kind of stop people from kind of going for the XT cards there. Is DDR FX, the normal 5600 is okay. So I've never used a 5600 XT. I can't imagine it being particularly good, but that's an interesting card actually. I like that. Been heavily modded. Aftermarket copper RAM heat sinks, and obviously aftermarket cooler there. And actually, temperature-wise, these weren't the best, and the coolers that you would get with them weren't the best either. So actually putting something like that, hopefully, has saved this card from being scrapped. So I'll have a look. We have one more, I think. Yep, one more. And it is a basic card compared to the other one. That's fine. So we've got composite out on this one as well. AGP card. Okie dokie. This is, I think looking at that, it's going to be a GeForce 2 MX 220, something like that. Or 400, okay. GeForce 2 MX 400, 64 meg. Perfectly fine card for a certain period of retro PC usage, I guess. Yeah, not bad. This all looks original. That doesn't look like it's been some Mercury branded card, which is okay, fair enough. There we go. So that's the last card of the little box here. So yeah, that hopefully will be my next video, that I'll just kind of go through AGP cards that I've got. Obviously don't need to see these again, but I've got some really unusual ones, especially kind of later on, as AGP started to become less popular and less common. Some of the more powerful AGP cards, so they're definitely worth having a look at. But as always, thank you very much for joining me for the video. Sorry about the mistakes, but thank you very much, and hope to see you soon. Goodbye.